Hey Aquarius, this is your general tarot card reading for Aquarius, Sun, Moon and Ascendant rising sign for the month of September. Aquarius, the game is on and you have a better chance of winning the game if you have a poker face. Yeah, why? Because there are some power games happening this month and you could clear the table. You could clear the table and make some big money moves yourself this month. Why? Well, the energy begins this month. Oh, look at this, the Emperor hopping out there. The powerful one, the one who does have all the power. There's a lot of energy this month as we enter the month. In the 8th house, we have the Sun, Mercury, Venus and Mars in the 8th house, which is all about control, power, dominating the scene. But we've also got Saturn this month going direct on September 18th, and he's going direct in your 12th house of having a hidden hand. Things being kept secret, things being done behind the scenes, behind the shadows, out of other people's, nosiness, out of their prying eyes. And you are making power moves and kind of coming in from the shadows a little bit. Yeah, so that if there's anything that you want to make a big move on this month, Aquarius, do it. But as I said, keep that poker face, that cute little innocent Aquarius face that's hiding the big gameplay, because the big game is on. And as I said, you could really clean the table. With the Sun in the 8th house, it is giving you that strength to think about your money, think about your kind of hustle a little bit, think about your investments, your taxes, insurances, anything like that, and maybe see how you can play with that a little bit. In Virgo season, it's all about being clever, being smart, being organized, but also holding a bit of a magnifying glass up to your money issue, your whole financial scene, and saying, how can I get to the root of my money situation? Because if I know how this game is, if I know what I have, then I know how I can play the game better. If I know exactly how much is going in and out of my bank account, and if I see a trend, if I can predict the ins and outs and the comings and goings, then I can somewhat maybe even predict further how I can invest money, how I can open a side business, how I can play with my money a little bit. You know, you've got Jupiter there in the 11th house of being maybe going into investment things with friends, or maybe doing something with technology, which we've spoken about before, doing something on the internet. Some of you I know are interested, as we've spoken many times before, about cryptocurrencies and so on like that. So there might be a real moment where there's this thing of, how can I get the money that I have, examine it really closely and see how I can play with that, make it bigger, bring it into my future, make it work for me, for my future, and allow it to expand. So that's what I'm saying. That game is on. What money do I have now, and how can I use that money to get what I want in the future? And that could be anything. That could be your dream home, your dream car, your dream career, your dream business, your dream island out there where you're just drinking cocktails, whatever that may be. It's the game is on now to kind of play with your finances in such a way, or maybe even include other people, bring investors in some maybe risky thing you want to do, maybe not high risk, I doubt it's high risk, but something that you want to do to get to a point in the future, to expand your future vision, to finally get somewhere. And where could that place be? Well, with Saturn in the 12th house, it could be a secret place, a hidden place, a kind of, I'm not telling you where I'm going place. I've got places to go, but I'm keeping that shit to myself, so don't expect me to write that in the comments. I'm not letting you know. That's my secret. That's for my nose and my eyes and my ears only. Nothing to do with you. So yeah, whatever it is, it seems to be a secret plan that suddenly starts really getting moving again to get you going into your future. But as I said, you need some level of playing your cards close to your chest, revealing a little bit here and a little bit there, just the information that people want, but not anything beyond that, just enough to get you places. So there is some level of secrecy here this month. And I want to warn you too, Aquarius, here, in a month where you're making power plays, where you're kind of playing your cards close to your chest, where you are on the big players table, don't forget that there are also other sneaky people. Not saying you're sneaky, but there are other players on that poker table. And you have to be very watchful of those, very vigilant here, because in a month where there is a little bit of fog still, a little bit of smoke and mirrors, a little bit of, I'm going to give you the impression that I've got a lot of money, or I'm going to give you the impression that my hand is weak or my hand is strong. I'm going to give you some impression. And your job this month is to see whether you buy into it or not. There's an element here of having to be very, very, very mindful, very, very thorough, very, very detailed, Virgo season, to make sure that you're the one that clears the table and not somebody else, that somebody doesn't come in and scam you out of money. So I have to give you the heads up on that. Just make sure that if there are power plays happening, that you're the one at the end counting the chips and not somebody who has somewhat pulled the wool over your eyes. But I feel you're very strong this month, Aquarius, very, very strong. I think that whatever this thing is, for some of you it's like working towards a passive income, getting your ideas together and getting really confident and really forceful in some way to maybe have a life where you don't work, where money kind of comes in through investments or other sources of passive income. And it's almost like, I'm not telling you how I'm going to do it. This is my secret, but it seems a lot of you have that same secret. So good luck to you. Good luck to you, because I think that you've gone through a long period now where you haven't been a strong player in the game, where you felt, I keep losing my chips, I keep playing shitty hands, and the universe keeps dealing me shitty cards. How can I win here? I keep losing, keep losing, keep losing. But all the while, what Saturn was trying to do, to get you used to the idea of what it looks like, the difference between maybe a winner and a loser. He's saying, okay, I'm going to make you lose a bunch of stuff now. So you kind of get more and more determined not to lose anymore, to start really pushing for this, to start really getting aggressive, maybe even somewhat ruthless about this, Aquarius, to make sure that you are not being dealt the losing hand anymore, that you are really playing the big boy and the big girl game now. So that's very, very strong. A lot of you could be very interested in opening a side business, having a second hustle going on, and maybe kind of playing with that a little bit, saying, I'll just invest a little bit in this. I'll see how this goes. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. But I kind of have confidence that it might do something magic. I have a feeling, I have a kind of a gut instinct that this little side thing that I might do could in the future, again, if I play my cards right, open up into something much bigger. And maybe that can kind of lead me in a new financial direction. Yeah, very, very good. Now, another thing that I'm going to warn you about this month is that other people's messiness might start rolling in at your feet. Other people's drama, other people who might actually sense that you're making power moves. They don't know what you're at, but they sense it. They could come in and get all weird, bitter, odd, strange, and even a little bit bitey and attacky, because they sense you're up to something, but they don't know what it is, and they're probably too stupid to kind of figure out what's going on. So it's like, when a dog senses something and it starts snapping, even though they don't know what it is. It's a bit like that. You might get people snapping at your ideas, snapping at your gameplay, snapping because they sense something is afoot, but they don't know what it is. And you're saying, yeah, they might sense something is afoot. Well, they sense when I put that foot up their ass if they try with me. Maybe. But I feel if somebody does try to challenge you on anything this month, Aquarius, you have the real, again, winning hand here. Keep calm, keep cool, don't reveal too much. Just play your cards close to your chest, but put somebody maybe in their place if they're getting a little bit too close, a little bit too prying, a little bit too nosy. It's none of their business. None of your business, bitch. Get back in your box. So there's a bit of an energy like that too, so I need to warn you of that now. But it's great, it's great, it's great. September 14th, we've got the full moon in Pisces in your second house, the second house of money. Maybe something coming to fruition this month. We've a lot of kind of unusual energy where it's like, again, it's like hidden money, secret money, playing a kind of a game with your money that might turn up kind of as the winning hand around the time of the full moon, where you win out financially in something, potentially, potentially. Maybe there, say the first 2 weeks of the month, there's a little bit of a stress, a little bit of a sweat going on with trying to kind of hustle something with money or make something happen financially. And it seems to pay off. Again, if you're doing this right and if you're not letting anybody trick you in to expose your hand or expose your gameplay, then you could really see something pay off for you. And even there's a weird opportunity here, Aquarius. In some cases, hidden money might come your way, like money that you didn't think was even due to you. Maybe you thought, oh, well, if I do this, I've calculated that it will give me this amount of money. But then when it kind of does come to you, it's much bigger. And you're like, wow, I calculated this. Maybe I really underestimated this. There's more money than you thought coming your way. Maybe money through work that you've done, that you've forgotten about, and then it reappears. Money that you've lent somebody and totally forgot you lent it to them, it reappears. It could be just somebody, a friend, family member, or somebody turning up and saying, look, I've done really well, or I've won something, here, I'll share it with you. So it's like unexpectedly, maybe out of the blue, there might be something quite like a turn up for the books financially that seems to be very, very positive. So it's all good, Aquarius. And I kind of, as I'm tuning in into your energy, I like this because, as I said, it's been a while since you were able to make real confident, determined power moves on something in your life, with your money, with your work, with getting your future dream kind of up and running. And I'm just really happy for you that the game is back on. I'm really delighted for you because I think you've lost enough, The second half of the month, say from September onwards, we've got Mercury and Venus going into Libra. We've got the equinox on the 23rd where the sun goes into Libra, and on the 26th there's a new moon in Libra, all in your 9th house, where things are made that much bigger, where it's like something is opening up for you, something is being enlarged for you, maybe something that you've been working on financially. It's a time of expanding your horizons. Maybe on a very literal level, it's a time where you're saying, I need to book a vacation, or I need to kind of learn more about something. Maybe with a little bit of financial success you've had, you're kind of saying, I like it. I've gotten a taste of this. I want to learn more. Okay, if this is the route I'm going down, I'm going to have to buy a lot of books or go and sign up for a course or something that will teach me more. Tell me more, take my money and teach me more. It's a bit like that. So it's very, very nice. It's a very positive energy. And there's an Aquarius card helping out. We've only 5 cards, though. We need a few more to help out. So expanding, broadening your mind, and feeling quite large. Feeling, there's a bit of an exuberance, a bit of a feeling of, finally I feel like I know what I'm doing. Finally I feel like I can go places. Finally I feel like I'm part of something now that's bigger, broader, expanding. It's just for me, because the 9th house means millions of things and all these energies can mean anything, but tuning into it, it feels like that feeling of, I'm bigger, I'm better. Something is growing here and I like it. I want more of it. I want to experience the good life. I want to experience, maybe for some of you, other cultures. I want to maybe talk to foreign people or people worldwide maybe about some maybe side business that some of you are doing. So it's expansion, 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 expansion. And particularly now with Jupiter in Sagittarius in the 11th house, it's like expanding some idea that you have, some higher-minded idea that you have, some great big plan for your future that you have. Yeah. I love that energy for you. Now let's get a few more cards going on, because I think we've kind of covered the general vibe there. So, okay, well, a bunch of cards came out there. Is it all the cards that we need? Let's just check. Yeah, it's all the cards that we need. So, let's do it. Let's get our poker faces on and read the tarot cards. Okay, let's go over to your big grand ta-da overview for the month of September. So, Aquarius, there's a feeling here, again, touching upon what we said earlier of, I always feel like I have to walk away from the winning table. I always feel that every time I get close to making a real power move, that it goes nowhere. But yet I'm hanging in there. So there's a feeling of, even though you kept trying and trying and trying and trying in work and relationships, with your money, very strongly with your money, or with making some sort of headway into a power move on something you want in your future, it's like, I haven't given up. There's still life in the old dog yet. I haven't given up. I'm not just giving up on this and walking away. I'm going to maybe just, there's a feeling of, I'm going to kind of give the impression that I'm walking away, but I'm not. So that's maybe one of your tactics being revealed, kind of like, if you're going to buy something, like say if you're going to buy a car or even a house or something, that you approach the seller and they don't give you the price that you want in the deal, there's a feeling of, oh no, I'm walking away here, I'm walking away, but really you're saying, I know they'll bite, I know they'll call me back, I know they'll give me that call. It's that feeling of, I'm not giving up, but I'm pretending to walk away from something, pretending to walk away when really this is a power move. It's like maybe even saying to friends, family, people in work, oh, I've given up on that idea, I'm not working on that anymore, but yet you're doing it in the background. Or I've given up on that friendship, I've given up on that relationship, but all you're doing is keeping it quiet or keeping it away from the public. So there's a real level of secrecy happening here. Really, really, really. Now, in some cases, I want to touch upon this because this is something that's happening. This is quite a psychic month actually for you, Aquarius. Very, very psychic. But also in terms of dealing with the unconscious, the subconscious, things that finally have to come to the surface, things that, excuse me, have been holding you back, things that you couldn't walk away from. It's like I couldn't shake these things. And maybe this month there could be some real powerful moves, power moves to finally deal with some of these things that have been sabotaging your power in general. Dealing once and for all by going to a therapist, going to a healer, going to a counsellor, or really in your own time taking a real run at this and saying, you know what, I have to face this issue. I have to ask myself the serious questions. I can't avoid this anymore. I can't run away from it. There is something that maybe has been tripping me up, that has been holding me back to get ahead in my life. And I need to deal with that. In a month where Saturn is going direct in your 12th house, I would say to you, observe your dreams, observe signs, omens, symbols. Because as weird as those dreams and signs and omens and symbols and hunches and weird feelings might be, they are a huge, huge part of you. And they could actually be the very thing that have answers for you. So pay attention to your gut feelings. Pay attention to your psychic spidey senses this month. To the dreams, to the unusual, to the weird, to the coincidences, to the deja vus, to all of that, because I think that there may even be a hidden helper in there, like a little hidden help from your guides, ancestors, or whoever it is there that's helping you, saying, this is what you've to deal with, and if you deal with it, then you get back in a position of power. Now, there could be an Aries Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, or even, this is Mars, Virgo, Aries or Virgo, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, who may be a strong catalyst of change for you right at the start of the month. Maybe positively or negatively, I can't decide, but they seem to start something, they ignite something, they get the process of healing rolling for you. Maybe you're doing something hidden with them or secretive with them, or maybe you're having secrets that, or maybe they trigger something that makes you more secretive in some way. So either way, Virgo or Aries, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, get the game on. They're somehow an ally, or as I said, they light the fire to get some game on, to clear something in your subconscious and your psyche, or maybe to help you with some great big behind the scenes power move in something. So that's very strong. Now, the one who must sacrifice something for the greater good in Virgo season, very much their style, making big sacrifices to do something you love or be with somebody that you love. Be in a place that you love, start a project that you love, have the type of income that you love. But there's a great level of love surrounding you this month, Aquarius. A great level of love, doing something with your love for those of you in a relationship that requires a little bit of a sacrifice, it requires a little bit of effort. And there's an element of risk to it, that you're saying this can go one way or another. I think it's worth the sacrifice, but we could be leaving ourselves high and dry here. But again, what I'm feeling, Aquarius, it's almost like a calculated risk. It's a risk, but you know that it's something you must do. Take a risk maybe for love for some of you. Because in a month where there's very strong energy, very strong psychic and sexual energy and attraction and magnetism and deep feelings, deep feelings for other people also this month, there could be somebody drawing you out, saying, come out, Aquarius, come out and play the game of love. And maybe for some of you, it's a secret game of love. For some of you, keeping it quiet for now. And it's almost like it's a sacrifice because you very often value your independence and you do not give your deep self away to people very, very easily. But there is a very strong temptation this month, because I feel somebody that you currently love or somebody that is coming into your life this month is drawing you out into deeper, more spiritual places, wanting to bond with you on a very deep and intimate level. It's not superficial. It's not somebody that you can keep at arm's length. It's not somebody that you can be all cool and casual with. This is love. And this is somebody who is drawing out something very deep in you, that it's like an animal instinct that you want to howl at the full moon with. And I think it seems to be worth the sacrifice. Very, very nice. Now, mid-month, we have an Aquarius card doing that very thing I said you probably don't want to do, which is put your hand out and say, back off, stay away from me, stay away from me. With the full moon in the second house, there could be a feeling of somebody wanting to bond with you and you finding it maybe a little bit uncomfortable. But yet, it's almost like, but yet when I sit with this, I feel like it's the right thing to do. So there's a kind of a push and pull energy here. The strong Aquarius part of you is saying, I don't want to have anything to do with this. I value my independence. I like you. I don't want to admit that I'm probably deeply attracted to you because I prefer kind of cooler relationships than this. I don't like getting all heavy and deep and how do you feel and how do I feel and how do we all feel and let's all feel together. Let's just keep it kind of fun, light, something that I don't feel like you're trying to wrap a lasso around me. So there's that feeling, but yet on the other hand, you're still sitting with it. You're still saying, but yet this feeling is strong. Why don't I rush at this? Why am I keeping this person at arm's length? Why am I not getting so deeply involved and committed with them? What's going on? And that could trigger some of these bigger questions. Where did it begin? How did it start for me that I don't like this thing of letting another person into my life in that particular way? Or if they do come into my life, I kind of begin very hot, and then slowly work my Aquarius magic and start peeling them off me, but keeping the relationship going. There's a real moment, something is triggering this where you're asking yourself, why do I do that? Is it just because I'm an Aquarius? I don't think I'm as superficial as that. I know for a fact I'm not as superficial as that, so what's going on here? Why am I really wanting to answer to this primal feeling, and why does it scare me? Why do I resist it? So that's for some of you. There's also for some of you a real resistance to sit down and think about your feelings. Sitting down for some of you and thinking back of the past is like, oh, that's a waste of time. The past is the past. I'm thinking about the future. But for me, I feel, Aquarius, there's something that you have to go back and retrieve, something that you do have to go back and think about. And it involves building up your self-esteem, building up your self-worth, reclaiming your power back again from some situation from your past. It could be from your childhood, a family experience where you felt that you lost some level of power, maybe even some level of sexual power. Maybe there was a feeling that you could have been brought up in a family where they were quite prudish about things like that, or they didn't openly talk about sex, relationships. I know a lot of families probably don't do that. But there's a feeling of, what am I suppressing? Was it a first love that let me down, and ever since then I've been punishing every other person that came along since? So these are big questions, Aquarius. I know that's all weird, deep and psychological, but I feel around the time of the full moon, you could get all weird dreams, or you might not be able to stop thinking about these past things and then gauging it against you, saying, how is that relevant to me? What happened there that I forgot that I now need to remember? And that thing that I had forgotten, if I can go back and find it again and remember it again, it will give me more power. It will give me more strength, and maybe it will heal something for me. And allow me again to bond with people, lovers, partners, friends, whoever, on a really deep level, because this always surprises me, Aquarius, about you. I always say this, you're one of the deepest signs, even though there are other signs out there which are typically categorized as being very deep, maybe some of the water signs. Aquarius, you are very, 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 very deep. It's just that those beautiful lagoon waters of yours aren't open, though it's not open to everybody. And that's a pity. I always find that a real pity, because there's such magic in your depth. And I know sometimes when you're maybe younger, when you open that beautiful place to people, they mightn't have respected it, or known how to handle it, or known what to do with it. And then you said, right, the gates are closed on that for good, until I find the one. And you could find yourself becoming like that wandering knight, the one who was forever searching for the one. When sometimes in that search, in that crusade for the one, we don't see that there are ones around us. It's probably time to redefine who gets to see that beautiful depth in you, Aquarius. And I know this is kind of going down that route a little bit, and I know sometimes it's a bit blah, 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 boring. I know, I get it. But I'm just showing you how you could use the energy that is more than likely going to show up for you. Don't run away from it. Sit with it. And be really, really bluntly honest. You are the sign of authenticity. Maybe it's time for you to be really absolutely transparent and authentic about this whole thing of who gets to see that beautiful, deep part of you, and why has maybe nobody been allowed to see that for quite some time? Or why are they only allowed to dip their toe in? Why don't you just let them swim and dive and play? And here is a card of not wanting to go back into the past, not wanting to get to the root of something, not wanting to go into all that psychological blah, 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 get on with the rest of the reading bullshit. Yeah, we've endured that, now move on. There's a feeling of I don't want to do that. Why? Because I feel disempowered when I do. This is a Mars and Leo style card, defending your dignity, your pride, defending your good face, defending the aura that you give off, defending your shine, your, you know, how I look. You know, I'm doing good here. I'm doing good, you know. I'm doing good. I don't need to deal with all of that shit. Look, I can cope. I'm doing fine. Bravado sometimes. And it's the feeling here, Aquarius, of saying, if I go back to that past and I dig in there, blah, 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 I do all the digging, as you say, look for the root of the problem. If I do that, it's going to leave me feeling very disempowered. That's exactly what I've been trying to run away from. That's exactly what I've been trying to get away from. That's what I didn't want to see, because you know what, if I go and find that tree of my life and I look at the root, you know what I think I'll find? That all the roots are rotten. But that's not true. It's not true, Aquarius. There is strength there. It's like, go back to your roots, go back to what has been lost and forgotten and reclaim it. It is, you're stronger, stronger, stronger than you think you are, in very real deep terms. Not strong just because I've survived this and I've coped with that and I'm able to put on a good front and I don't let anything bother me, I just get on with life. That's putting a band-aid over things. Now, it does work. There's no doubt about it. It does work. But to make it really work for you, it's time to get to the root of this and not be afraid of what you see. Because I believe what you think you'll see is something awful, but what you'll actually find is your strength and your beauty and your confidence and your ability to say, I don't have to pretend to be brave anymore. Look how far I've really come. I see how deep my roots are. I actually see, and I'm surprised at how strong I really am. And that gives you back again some real honest, true, authentic confidence in yourself, Aquarius. So now we'll move on to something else, because I know by now you're sick of hearing that blah, 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 blah. So by the end of the month, we're going back to this money issue. And again, look at him playing his cards close to his chest, holding his stash, holding his coins, holding his chips close to him. And again, that's that energy, and I think it pays off, because this is the queen, the one who's confident, the one who attracts what? More security, more money, the one who attracts more confidence, feeling like you're steady, something has started, something is steady, something is gaining, something is growing roots, something is starting to blossom and bloom, and I'm having fun with this. She's quite the energy of sitting back and watching a risk pay off, watching the good stuff come to her. She's also very, excuse me, she's also very discerning. If you notice, she has her face turned away to everybody. She's ignoring everybody. And she will only turn her face and pay attention to the ones who she intuitively senses have a bit of game going on, have something going on for them. So she is, it's the element of, I'm not giving my energy just to anybody. I'm not giving my fun, my joy, my amusement, my sensuality, even fire, sexuality, passions. I'm not giving that to just anybody. Only people who I really do trust. Only people who have good qualities about them. Only people who... I don't want the type of people who are superficial. I want some depth. So maybe that's the beginning of you opening your doors to new experiences, new people. At least saying, well, here's what I want. I want somebody who's fun, but also has passion and depth. But I do see something positive paying off. Something is being struck on fire, and it's to do with your money, or maybe in some cases the home that you're in, that you are... I don't mean your house will be struck on fire. I don't mean that. I mean that if some of you are planning a home move or a house thing, doing up your home, or moving away to somewhere new, moving abroad even, it's like that seems to get lit up. We come to the last two cards. This is heavy, heavy, heavy thoughts, feeling trapped by your thoughts. And this needs to change. These two cards tell me there's a heaviness, and it's mostly to do with your thoughts. And with all the energy going in the second half of the month to the 9th house, I feel your opinions of things are going to be really radically changed. It's like there's a real moment where you get to understand that in some way your stance on something has held you back. Your stance and opinion about love might have held you back from meeting that true love, or getting on within your relationship, or getting on with family or friends. It's kind of a staunchness. It's kind of, this is how it is. But you're realizing that that kind of, well, that's how it is, in whatever kind of area that is starting to be overbearing, even for you. There's a real moment at the end of the month for you. You love freedom. You love to be able to come and go as you please. And then you're kind of saying, you know what? My narrative is one of the very things in my life that's actually hemming me in and blocking me. It's not anybody else holding me back. It's me. It's not my home situation, my friend situation, work situation, money situation, health situation. Okay, they might be obstacles, sure, but they are not actually really totally holding me back. It's how I perceive what's going on that's holding me back. My narrative has got to change, because even I'm getting pissed off with my narrative. Even I'm starting to feel like I'm becoming like an overbearing overlord in my own life. This has to change. I have to actually rebel against myself. I'm going to go in and storm the barricades of my perception, because underneath that perception is something much freer. I built a wall around myself. I hemmed myself in with a strong opinion on something. And that was something that was built to keep me in, to protect me maybe at one point. But I'm recognized that that barrier that I've built around myself is fear. And we all know that the good things, the positive things, love, our evolution, lies behind the barriers of fear. And it's your perception that is the thing that has kept you fearful, maybe kept you small, kept you locked in, kept you hemmed in. And okay, it's very tempting to blame this, that and the other, but they're just symptoms of a kind of narrative that now completely needs to be changed. You have to storm those barricades and change your own perception to win your freedom. To put the Aquarius flag on top of the tower and say, I have conquered this. I'm bigger than this. I'm bigger than my fears. And I've got games here. I've got big games to play. And I've got to think bigger, broader, more expansively. I am not limited by my own narrative anymore, because these big games need big thoughts and big expansive moves. And that's where I'm at right now. Aquarius, I love it. The big gameplay, getting your poker face on and expanding your perception so that you can also move into bigger terrain and territory. I love it. I love it. It's going to be an interesting month for you. And go there. Go there. Challenge your fears so that you can storm the barricades, as I say, because our evolution lies and waits for us behind our fears. So I'm going to leave it at that, my love. Now, you know these are the general energies of the month. You know, if you want to get into the nitty-gritty of the energies, where to come. You come to the Vimeo reading, the deep read. The link is down there in the description box below. Click into it and come along and we'll open it all right out. We'll go into relationships, what's going on. For the singles, is there love magic this month for you? Your money, which seems to be a big thing this month. Your career, family, friends, and anything that we didn't talk about here in the general reading, we'll open that bitch right out in the deep read. So come along, Aquarius, and we'll figure it out together. So I'm going to leave it at that, my beauty, and I'm going to leave you with all my love, knowing that you've got this totally under control, but still giving you that big, big, big kiss for luck. Mwah. Until next month, my beauty, bye.